What's up, guys? I'm here with Outer Banks actor Jay Stokes.
Where is he? I thought I was talking to you, the Outer Banks girl. You play Sarah Cameron, right? Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan.
Oh my god.
Hi. I think I'm sweating a lot.
I'm crying a little bit.
The fans. We've got some pretty insane fans. They've obviously been supporting us like crazy. So what's your take?
Obviously, the response has been incredible and the fan base is really amazing.
I went into Target and within like 20 minutes I had people being like, oh my God, it's John B. It's kind of a surreal experience, but it's, I think, rewarding.
Gotta go incognito John Bandito.
I had a face mask, I had sunglasses, I had a hat and a hood on.
No, it's the hair. It's gotta be the hair.
Yeah, you're right.
I always had high hopes for the show, and I always thought we had something special from like the first day of shooting, but because there's like this mutual love for it, it feels like there's this kind of like connection with them. I want to talk with them and I want to, show them behind the scenes stuff, and I want them to be involved.
The content that we've kind of been continuing to put out has been pretty obnoxious and funny. It's fun and gratifying to be able to have logged so much stuff from when we were filming, to be able to give that to people sort of as almost like season 1.5, so to speak, so that it's sort of this like development into continuing to get to know the characters in a way that I don't think a lot of shows get to do.
It's great because the image of the show is actually the friendship between all of us, and I feel like that's really cool that we get to share that like unfiltered with everyone.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Chip Eston's fandom name, Outer Bankers?
I love you, Chip, if you're watching. But I think the discussion has changed, and I think the fans are gonna be honorary Pogues from now on. So MTV, heard it first. You guys are Pogues. Once a Pogue, always a Pogue.
So what do you think separates John B and Sarah's relationship from the cliche Romeo and Juliet, Montagues and Capulets story?
It really breaks down the traditional like teenage relationship and really focuses a lot on the connection between the two and the intimacy emotionally and mentally versus just the physicality of it. And I think going back to modern film and television, and even back into the 90s a little bit, in the early 2000s, there's so much over-sexualization and there's so much, want for lust. And I think with John B and Sarah, although, there's been some reviews that are like, it's a teen show where they're half naked all the time. It's like, right, but when you get down to the dialogue and the way that these two interact, there's a lot of emotional connection that becomes present. And the communication, I think, is the most important thing. And I think in any relationship, whether you're a teenager, whether you're, married for 50 years, or you are trying to figure out whether or not this can work, that level of communication and understanding between the two is the absolute most important thing. And I think you see the difference between her communication with Topper and then Sarah's, relationship and the communication with John B. And you see that becomes truthful in the way that they communicate, and it makes the comfortability level that much better.
As far as Sarah's concerned, I didn't want people to like her at first because we love a good character arc. I wanted there to be something about her that kind of makes you think twice, which is kind of from the perspective of JB. Like, he writes her off to begin with, and then he kind of slowly is like, maybe she's not as stuck up as sometimes she acts. We had many conversations about how you wanted to try and add more depth to, JB, and like little things that would be like, what would make someone fall in love? Like, what is a quality that we could add to this? Like, how could we make this go a little deeper? And also to the people who are commenting on us wearing minimal clothing, if y'all were there in 103-degree heat and 1,000% humidity, you wouldn't want to be wearing clothes either. Is there any scene that you would want to applaud any of your fellow castmates on?
Rudy in the hot tub. It was super rewarding to watch him because, as you know, Rudy and I live together. So to watch him prep for that scene and know when it was coming and have, the time and the headspace to get there and watch him give such a phenomenal performance that day, snaps for Rude. And then for you in particular, there's one scene, and I don't think we've really talked about this, later in the season when we are stuck in the house and you come up the stairs and you're an emotional wreck backstory on that. Like Maddie got thrown a bone like very last minute, and Jonas was like, I need you to be, you know, an absolute chaotic wreck, you know, after seeing all of this. So I think watching that take place in such a short period of time, and then watching the performance on screen, I was like, yeah, that was believable. That was really, really beautiful scene. So, hot debate. The internet is dying to know where Key's gonna land. Is she gonna be Team Pope? Is she gonna be Team JJ?
When Kiara turned down Pope, my heart shattered because Pope must be protected at all costs. I love him. However, from Kiara's perspective, I understand if you don't feel it with someone, you don't feel it. And in that way, I can definitely see Kiara and JJ having something. I feel like sometimes opposites attract, and it would be really interesting to see Kiara kind of like bring JJ down a little bit, because she does throughout the first season. She always calls him on his shit.
Part of me wants to believe that Key and JJ are the type of people that are going to potentially explore it and then hopefully come to find out that they're better as friends. Because I do think that Pope has a genuine love for Key that needs to be explored. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's obviously something that we all want to know. I mean, I want to know, like, are they compatible?
Sometimes you don't know. You know, especially when you're young, you don't know, and you change a lot as a person, and especially like things that go on at the first season. Like there's so much that happens, and there's so much change that these teenagers are never gonna be the same. And so like, I think it's so relatable that, you know, you would maybe be torn and you don't know, and you know, your wants and, you know, the things you need change. Hypothetically speaking, how would you prepare for a season 2?
First and foremost, cardio, because if there's any indication of season 1 and how much I ran, I should probably start running. I think the other thing too is we've created such a great foundation for this universe, and so for me, watching the fans' reactions and watching the feedback that we've gotten, I want to make sure that I'm on my A game with all of the things that I've learned from last season, and to translate that into next season with my performances, and make sure that these characters continue to come to life.
I think we all learned a lot in the first season, but I know that I really, really learned a lot, and there are obviously things that, of course, if I could go back, I would change. Season 2 would be my, you know, chance to feel like I could redeem those things. And then I think get tan. We gotta get real tan.
Oh yeah.
Because we were burnt on that boat.
Here we go with the tans.